go to the Section 4 of the Children's Act, where it's actually becoming the whole or generating the entire controversy, at least. We've seen Ayikwe to issue a statement to that effect. But Section 14, maybe I'll come to Martin Kpebu on this. A person shall not force a child to be betrothed. The emphasis is on the word shall force. And does that make the practice of betrothal in itself an offense? That's where the controversy is being generated. Where do you stand on this particular issue, Martin?
In this particular case, the information...
I'll come to Martin Kpebu on this. Let me go to Martin Kpebu on this. Ms. Ahiafo.
Yeah. MFA, you see, there is a problem with the law. I mean, let's be very clear. There's a problem. You see, the Section 14 you've read. Yeah. We all agree that betrothal is not the same as marriage. But that 14, when you go to 14.2, you see that it sets a minimum age for marriage at 18. It says marriage of whatever type. So please, those who insist that when it's customary marriage, you can have 16, please, it's wrong. Whether it's customary marriage or ordinance or Islamic marriage, please, 18 for any kind of marriage. But you see that there's no express mention of the minimum age for betrothal in the Section 14. There's no mention. So the thing is that, let's be very clear. And in law, once you haven't set that minimum age in that Section 14, we need to tread cautiously. Look at 14. It says that a person shall not force a child to be what? Betrothed.
Exactly.
You shall not force. So the way the law is written is problematic, because then it means that there is a certain age that the child can consent to what? Betrothal. But it's not mentioned. It's not. So what we did, some of us earlier in the week, was to run to Section 14 of Act 29. That's the Criminal Offences Act, which talks about age of consent. So age of consent, there is 12 for general matters. That's general age of consent. But when it comes to sex, the law pushes it to 16. So look, in fact, all of these gymnastics we are doing, to be very honest with you, the best way out is that we need to amend the Children's Act to state clearly at what age betrothal can happen. If you want it to be 18, you just say that it should also be at 18. But if you recognize that, well, it can start at 16 or 14, put it. Because we have to be very honest. When you see, we are talking about criminal law. Article 19, clause 11 makes it clear that nothing is a crime unless it is specifically written in law. You see, that's the principle of legality. The principle of legality. So that's how come I joined in the position that the most important thing in this particular case is the fact that the child is being secured and the authorities are working to make sure that everything is okay with the child. But when we come to the crime, it's very slippery. Very slippery. Because you look at the 14 again, it says, shall not force a child to be betrothed. So don't force the child. Indirectly, then you are saying that, oh, it means that if the child agrees willingly. Meanwhile, you've not said at what age the child can agree willingly. So you see why I ran to the Criminal Offences Act, formerly called the Criminal Code, where they put general age of consent at 12. But when it came to sex to have this is 16. So I am thinking that, okay, then because sex is close to marriage, at all costs, the age of betrothal should never be put below 16.